Welcome to Perfect Blocks. In this series, we'll be going over single and double blocks. I will also show you how to use these blocking techniques into a striking techniques. We'll be going over a lot of little details, so please grab paper and pencil, take notes, get down all the details. Better yet, put your uniform on and follow along. Also, if you have any questions about the stances in this tape, please refer it back to perfect stances and footwork. So let's put your uniform on and let's get started. Let's get started with our first low block, where you're blocking the mid and the low part of the body. We'll be using front stance in this block. Feet together and bow, please. Ready, stance, shoulder width apart. Cross your left arm on the top, right arm on the bottom, and step forward with your left foot and assume a front stance. Taking your left arm, using a sweeping action, which comes front of your body, and palm faces you the whole time until the last second. At the point of impact, your wrist snaps. And at the same time, your right hand will be coming to your rib cage. Hold your stance. One more time. Cross, palm facing in, sweep across your body, and wrist action at last second. Let's try the other side. Cross your right arm on the top this time, palm facing in, left arm on the bottom. Step forward with your right foot, assuming a front stance, blocking with the right hand, sweeping action, front of your body, palm faces you the whole time. At the point of contact, wrist snaps. Left hand comes by your rib cage. One more time. Hold your stance. Just cross, sweep across, front of your body, down low, wrist snaps at last second. Now let's try that a few times with front stance, low block, same time. We'll work left side first, okay? And we'll gradually speed it up. Cross your left arm on the top. Step, block. Come back to ready stance. Once again, cross your left arm on the top. Step, block. Always keep that body nice and straight. And one last time. Cross your left arm on the top. Right hand on the bottom. Step, block. Now let's try the other side. Cross your right arm on the top. Left arm on the bottom. Same time. Step with the right foot. Block. Come back. Once again. Cross. Step. Block. And come back. And one last time. Cross. Step. And block. And come back. Now, putting it all together. Let's go fast. Left side fast and right side fast. 3 times. Ready, stance. Left side first. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. When you cross, don't hesitate. It has to be one smooth motion. As soon as you cross, the arm must come back right away. I want you to imagine your hand is made out of rubber ball. There's a wall there. As soon as it goes up, it's got to bounce right off. It's not like a Velcro where your arm gets stuck up there. Let me show you. You should have seen a little hesitation there. Now I'm telegraphing my move. You do not want to telegraph. So as soon as you cross, block right away. Okay, let's finish it up with the right side. Ready, stance. Remember, up and down quick. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. And that was your low block. Application of the low block. Assisting me is Mr. Eric San Jose. Okay, from ready stance, if your opponent is attacking, you're simulating a technique that's coming to the chest or below. From a front stance, I will get into a low block. If he's kicking with his right leg, I'll be stepping forward into the technique and blocking the mid to low section of the body. Okay, so from here, hi-ya! And block. Now let's continue that on with natural stance or even a fighting stance, because you will not always be in a front stance. You will not always cross your arm when you're blocking. From a natural fighting stance, if he attacks, you may just have to drop your arm and block. Or you may be blocking with open hand, whichever is more comfortable for you. So from the fighting stance, hi-ya! Just a simple downward sweeping action, which simulates that low block. Now you're ready for side block. Side block because your body is sideways and you're blocking to the side of the body. This can, however, be executed from a back, where your body sideways, back stance, or even front stance. The action comes from one side of the body to the other side of the body. Okay, let's take a quick view of that. From a back stance, the blocking hand comes from the bottom, almost as if you're drawing a sword. The other hand, cross on the top. Now, your arm comes up slightly, and I want you to be able to see the back of your hand. And if you notice, hand comes up to about your eye level to protect anything that's coming to front of your body, front of your face, front of your chest. It makes a circular motion. And then last second, your wrist snaps. It's not a scooping block. It's a side block. So best way to tell, go outside of the elbow. So let's fold the left arm on the bottom, right arm on the top. Bring the left elbow up slightly, outside of the elbow, come across, and when it's just about ready to block, wrist action. Make sure your wrist is nice and straight. You don't want your wrist to be bending out, nor do you want your wrist to be bending forward. You want the wrist nice and straight. This is one of the very few blocks which can be also used as a strike, which you will see it in the application. Back fist strike. Let's go through that one more time. Side block. Wrist is nice and straight, elbow is down. So you're blocking from the top all the way to the bottom. If you bend your wrist, you're going to be losing that much surface area to block with. Whereas if you straighten out your wrist, you have that much more surface area to block. Once again, if you bend your wrist, you lose that surface area to block. If you straighten out your wrist, you have that more surface area to block. So it's very important to keep that wrist nice and straight. In a striking action, as a back fist strike, if you look at my fist right now, back part of the knuckle is the furthest away from me, which means it's closest to my opponent. So if I were to use this side block as a back fist strike, yes, I'll be guaranteed to make a contact with my first two knuckle as a back fist strike. So don't bend your wrist down. Don't bend your wrist up. Keep your wrist nice and straight. Let's go through this step by step. Left side first. Cross your left arm on the bottom, right arm on the top. Step forward, take a back stance. Weight on the back leg. Come outside of the elbow and wrist snap. Pull your right hand by your rib cage. Keep your stance. One more time. Cross on the bottom and block. One more time. Cross and block. Now let's try the other side. Right arm on the bottom, left arm on the top. Step forward with your right foot. Back stance. Make sure it comes in a circular motion. Remember, outside of the elbow, look at the back of your hand. Don't turn that wrist already. Keep that hand exactly where it is. And save the snap to the last second. And remember, don't block above your eyes. Then you can't see. Block slightly below your eye level. Ready? Cross and block. One more time. Cross and block. Now let's try that side block step by step, a little bit faster. You ready? Left side first. Cross on the bottom. Step. Block. Come back. Once again. Cross. Step. Block. One more time. Cross. Step. Back stance and block. And right side. Ready? Cross. Right hand on the bottom. Step. Block. Again. Cross. Step. Block. And one last time. Cross. Step. Block. And come back. And once again, imagine your hand is made out of rubber ball. Not a Velcro ball where it's going to stick. As soon as your arm crosses, it must block out right away. Are you ready? Left side first. 1. And back. 2. And back. Get nice wrist action. 3. And back. And let's go to the right side. Remember, crossing on the bottom, coming in a circular motion, wrist snap at last second, using the back knuckle to strike, imagine, or even side of your arm, inside of your arm to block with. Ready? Right side. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. Side block is the only block that comes from the bottom. And this block can be used as a block as well as a strike. The application of the side block. First, the block. Remember, this block can be used to defend anything that's coming to the upper body or to the facial area. So as Mr. Enriching says, comes in the punch, I'll be using side block to protect. Hiya! The next situation, same situation, however this time, he's coming with a kick. Remember, it doesn't matter what technique your opponent uses, whether he punches or whether he kicks. You're protecting. So you can use side block to protect against a punch or even a kicking technique. Hiya! Those were the blocking application. Now let's take one step further into striking application. Like I had mentioned to you before, if you're close enough where you can come across, a back fist strike can be used with the first two knuckle coming across in a circular action as a back fist strike toward his bridge of the nose or even to the chin area. If he's sideways, I can use against his temple or his cheekbone or side of his jaw. Back fist strike in substitution with side block. Hiya! Now, lastly, let's go ahead and combine the first block that you did, which is the low block, and the side block action. Remember I told you about the side block being very unique, how it comes from the bottom and it comes up. Well, this time, instead of coming across, we're going to use slightly a scooping action of the side block. As my opponent comes in, you'll see me block low. From there, I'll continue on into that side block motion. So as he kicks, I'll block and I'll continue on. Now you notice by using the side block action, I actually caught his leg. Now, I can break, strike, or even follow through and take him down. So this is how you can use two different techniques, low block and side block, to work against your opponent, work for you to your advantage. Let's see that in actual application. Hiya! Hiya! Now you're ready for block number 3, rising block. Just like it says, it rises straight up. It covers your body as well as your face, all the way up to your head. I want you to imagine you have an umbrella on top of your head. So ready stance, cross the blocking hand on the top, wrist to wrist, left wrist first, and we'll work this from front stance. Your arm rises straight, front of your chest, front of your face, above your head slightly, and then last second, wrist snap. You notice my hand is covering all parts of my head, not only half, all parts. Your arm should be at a slant, approximately about 45-degree angle, and you're blocking with your wrist, your fist, as well as your forearm. And from your elbow to your shoulder should be a nice straight line to give you that extra support, not sagging. Rising block. Let's try that one more time. Cross, you step, front stance, and rising block. Remember that wrist action at last second. Make sure the wrist is straight. Make sure that wrist is not sagging. As you can see, if the wrist sags, as the contact is made, it's going to give in. Also, make sure you don't block too far back. You notice the front part of my head is wide open. You want to make sure that arm is right in front of that head to protect the head, face from any strike that's coming from top of your head, as well as your arm being slant. Any strike that's coming from top of the head will have a tendency to slide off. So 45-degree angle, covering all parts of your head. That's your rising block. Let's go through that step by step. Left wrist, cross. Step, block. One more time. Cross. Step, nice front stance, block. And one last time. Cross, step, block. Now let's go to the other side. This time, right wrist on the top. Right foot step. Make sure it goes front of your body, front of your face, above your head, wrist nice and straight. And your arm at 45-degree angle. Ready? Cross. Step. Block. Again. Cross. Step. Block. And last time, remember, right wrist on the top. Cross. Step. Block. And come back. Now, once again, when you cross, step. Once you step, block. All in one continuous motion. Let's get ready. Left side first. As soon as you cross, block right away. Front stance. 1. And back. 2. Hold your balance for a second. And back. Make sure you have a complete control over that block as well as your stance. 3. And back. Right side. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. And lastly, when you're doing the rising block, make sure that arm goes front of your body, front of your face, above your head. Not in a circular motion where you're missing all parts of the body as well as face. Make sure it comes front of your body and your face. And that's your rising blocks. Application of the rising blocks against a punch or even a kick. First, a punch, which is coming straight to your face. You're going to bring the arm up, above your head, so if the punch continues, it doesn't come straight to your face. It goes past your head. Okay? Hiya! Hiya! If the punch continues, I'm still safe. So make sure your block is above your head. Now, from a natural stance, you don't even have to cross your arms. You don't even have to get into a stance. Just naturally, as he attacks, bring the arm up and block. Hiya! Just a simple rising block. Now against a kick. He's going to be coming with an axe kick, coming top of my head. I'm going to block up, raise. My arm will be at a slant where I'll be able to deflect his kicking technique. Hiya! Now you're ready for the knife hand block. Knife hand block is unique. In a sense, you're blocking with open hand. From ready stance, you'll fold with both hands behind you. The blocking hand coming right by your face. We'll work this block from a back stance. Remember, back stance, 70% weight on the back leg. The blocking hand will come front of your face, front of your body, and the last second, again, the wrist action. Now, if you notice, my hand is not past my body because there's nothing here I have to protect. You just want to make sure your hand is at the front of the body. And you're blocking with the edge of your hand, knife hand, or even a wrist, which can protect the lower part of the body. So make sure your wrist is not bent. Your wrist is straight, elbow down, protecting that rib cage. And again, fingertip slightly below your eyes. Here, if I make a fist, you notice I'm taking away some of my blocking area. If I open my hand, I have more. If I close my hand, I'm losing about good 5-6 inches on the actual blocking surface. So by using a knife hand block, it's more advantageous because you have more surface area to block with, as well as after you block, you can grab your opponent. Once again, after you block, you can grab. So make sure your wrist is turned out slightly. If your wrist is not turned out, then it is very difficult for you to grab. Wrist turned out slightly so you can grab. But please remember, don't overturn because then your wrist will start bending. Now your body position. Make sure your body is not too sideways where when you block, you're putting a lot of strain on your shoulder. Okay, make sure your shoulder is in, so inside shoulder is lined up with outside edge of your hand. So you don't want to be in, nor do you want to be too far out. Right in the center. So if you're looking at me with my blocking hand down, you should be able to see my body open. With the block, you should not be able to see my body because I'm protecting with the knife hand block. And backhand comes to my solar plexus to cover. Fold, block. Now let's take that step by step. Ready stance. Fold. Remember, reach back. Blocking hand by your face, palm facing in. Step, back stance, and block. Front hand comes right front of your chest, slightly below your eye level. Back hand by your solar plexus. Come back. Once again, cross. Step, block. One more time. Cross, step, block. And once again, outside edge of your hand is lined up with inside shoulder. Don't strain that shoulder. Come back. Let's try the other side. Ready? Fold, The blocking hand comes by your face. Step, assume a back stance, block. Back hand comes by your solar plexus. Front hand again, wrist straight, wrist slightly turned out, blocking with knife edge as well as the wrist part of your arm. And back. Once again, cross, step, and block. One last one. Cross, step, block, and back. That was knife hand block. Now let's try that fast. Again, when you reach, when you fold, don't hesitate. Block right away. Ready, stance. We'll start out 3 times. Ready? 1. And back. Remember, reach out and block quick. 2. And back. 3. And back. Let's try the other side. Ready? Ready, stance. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. Now let's continue on with this knife hand block. This time, instead of blocking with knife edge, let's block with inside edge. We call this a reverse knife hand block, or sometimes it's called a ridge hand knife hand block, because your hand takes in a position of like a side block or reverse of the knife hand block. The hand position will come a little slightly different, almost as if you're doing that side block. So ready, stance. I want you to fold back, but this time your blocking hand comes to your rib cage. And as you block, hand will come up. Again, you don't want to come too high where you're blocking your view. Slightly below your eye level where you can see. And once again, if you noticed, my shoulder is not strained. You want the shoulder to be relaxed. So this time, your inside of your wrist lined up with your shoulder. Inside shoulder. Once again, ready? Fold. Remember, coming from the side. And then last second, almost like the side block, except your hand is open. You notice it gives me more surface area to block with. And backhand comes by my solar plexus. Now let's try to do that step by step. Ready, stance. First, the fold. Reach back, palm facing down. Step, back stance, and block. Remember, palm faces in, wrist snaps at last second in a back stance. Okay, a little bit faster. Fold, step, block. Again. Fold, step, block. And now the other side. Ready? Step by step. Fold, palm faces down, step, back stance, block. Make sure cover nice and high, slightly below your eye level. Elbows down. Keep the wrist nice and straight. And back. Once again. Fold. Step. Block. And one last one. Fold. Step. And block. And come back. Now let's try to do that fast. As soon as you fold, step into it. Nice, what we call knife hand side block or reverse knife hand block. Ready? 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. Other side. Ready? 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. Now, let's try a different version of that. This time, I want you to imagine you are doing a side block where you cross your blocking hand on the bottom. Except at the point of block, you will open and do an actual side block, however, with open hand. The other hand comes by your rib cage. Knife hand, side block. We'll do this one a little bit quicker. Ready, stance. Cross on the bottom, open. The other hand on the top. Step into it, block. And the other hand comes back by your rib cage. Again, cross, right away, step and block. And back. Once again, cross, bottom hand's got to open, step and block. And back. Let's try the other side. Cross, bottom hand opens, block. Knife hand, side block. Again, cross, step and block. Same time. One last time. Cross, step and block. Back stance and back. And let's try that quickly for the last time. 3 times on one side, 3 times on the other. Remember, cross arm to arm. Ready? 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. Other side. 1. And back. Big fold. Nice wrist action. 2. And back. 3. And back. And there you have the complete knife hand blocks. The application of the knife hand block. First, I will show you how you can just use the blocking technique to block, and we'll follow up with a block and a grab. Remember, we talked about knife hand block being very unique in a sense where it's an open hand block. So first the block. Hiya! Here, I'm ready to grab. I have blocked my technique. Now let's follow up. Ready? Hiya! Hiya! Pull, where I can grab. Hiya! And I can follow up with a strike since I have my opponent in my grasp. Now you're ready for inner block, where your arm comes from outside to inside. Again, using the wrist action. This one we'll do from standing still, natural position, or your ready stance, which is a little bit wider. Okay, let's just bring your arm up. Let's go with the right side first. Palm faces out. Bring your arm, front of your face, front of your chest, front of your body. As the arm comes across your body, snap that wrist. You want your wrist to end up with the other side of your body, where you're blocking all parts of your chest. Once again, arm comes up about eye level. Coming in, inner block, across your body. Let's try with the other arm, nice and easy. Bring your arm up, palm facing out, and as the arm comes across, it sweeps, and at last second, your wrist snaps. Remember, your wrist is straight, lower elbow part protecting your body, your wrist and your hand, upper part protecting your face as well as upper part of your chest. Once again, palm out and in and block. Wrist action. And once again, if you see the technique from the side view, my knuckle is furthest away from my body, which means it's closest to my opponent. So this technique can also be used as a strike. Back fist strike. So it's very important your wrist is not bent or curled up. Your wrist, again, nice and straight. So let's take this step by step. I'm going to have your arm up and we'll block. Just in a nice natural or ready stance. Okay, first, let's take one side. As you block, let's get the aim. And this one will alternate back and forth. Okay? Try to stay with me. Ready? Arm up, the other hand aim. And I want you to almost imagine you're going to be blocking that arm. Okay? Ready? Block. And at the same time, pull the other hand back. Aim with that same arm and bring the other hand up. Ready? Block. Make sure your arm comes all the way across your body. Don't stop in the middle. which leaves the half of your body open. Cover it all. Okay, aim, and bring the other arm up. Imagine you're blocking that punch. That's your opponent's punch. Ready? Block! So imagine your arm going through that body, blocking that hand that was in the front. Once again, aim, arm up, and block. Remember, this inner block. It has come from outside, inside. And one last time. Aim, and same time, arm up, and block. And once again, aim, bring your arm up, ready, block. And that was your inner block, step by step. Now let's take that fast. Try to stay with me. Don't forget the aim and the block. Get coordinated. Take it slow. Okay, ready? Let's start out with one hand in the front, the other hand up. Are you ready? 1. Now, as soon as the arm comes up, you got to aim and block right away. 2. You notice I switched very quickly. Imagine there's a punch coming. Ready? 3. Aim and get the other arm up. Same time. Ready? 4. 5. 6. And one more set. 7. 8. And there you have your inner blocks. The application of inner block. Again, the block can be used as a block as well as a strike. First, I will just go through the block. And second, I'll follow through with the strike. So as Mr. Eric San Jose comes in, I'll step into it and inner block. Make sure the arm goes all the way across my body. And of course, I can do another inner block. In this case, a strike. Straight to the bridge of the nose. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! Ta! Let's continue on with outer blocks. Exactly opposite of the inner block. This time your arm comes from inside to the outside. Sweeping action. Okay, let's start with the ready stance. Cross the blocking hand on the top. Let's go into the front stance with the same side front, and the arm goes out, front of your body, front of your chest, and at last second your wrist snaps out. And the other hand comes back to your rib cage, just in case you decide to follow with a strike. Again, the outside edge of your wrist should be lined up with outside edge of your shoulder, because beyond that, there's nothing. So cross, block, and that's where you should stop. Don't go too far. Once again, cross, step, block. Using that wrist action to come sweep front of your body and front of your face. Outer block. Let's continue that on step by step. Ready? Ready stance first. Cross on the top. Step. Block. And remember your wrist again, nice and straight. Once again, cross. Step. Block. One more time. Cross on the top. Step. Block. Right away. Let's try the other side. Cross on the top. Step. Front stance. Block. And I want you to see your arm sweep across front of your chest, front of your face. And the other hand comes by your rib cage. Again, ready? Cross, step, block. And one last one. Cross, step, block. Now outer block fast. As soon as you cross, block right into it. Ready? 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. And back. Let's try the other side. Big fold, move fast. 1. Back. 2. And back. 3. And back. And there you have the outer blocks. The application for outer block. Just like all the other blocks, it will block not only hand techniques, but also kicking techniques. So if you're in a ready stance, as Mr. Enriching say, kicks, I can be blocking outer block to block his kick. Hiya! Hiya! Ta! Ta! Now here, as you noticed, I blocked the first technique with the outer block. However, I combined inner block and outer block to defend against double punch. Now let's start combining these single blocks into double blocks. Let's first start out with double outer block, commonly known as the choke block, where both hands come in front of your chest and you block out. Once again, you're imagining your opponent is coming to choke you, grab you. You cross and you break. You're simulating an outer block from each side, except it's done simultaneously. So let's start out with the ready stance. Cross both hands in front of your chest, palm facing in. Step forward with either foot, left or right, and let's get into a front stance. And wrist action, double outer block. Once again, don't go too far. They're not going to be choking way out. Keep it nice and in to protect. Once again, cross, step, block. One more time, okay? Stay with me now, ready? Cross, step, block. Again, cross, step, block. And one last one. Cross. This time, step with the other foot. Step, block. And as you notice, this can be used with the either foot in the front. That's your cross block. Now let's go through that fast. Imagine your opponent is coming to choke, tackle you. You need to respond as quickly as you can. Ready? Block! And back. Once again, block! And back. Let's try with the other foot. Ready? Block! And back. And one more time, block! And back. And you know what? Let's try going backwards. If your opponent is coming in, maybe you can't always step forward. You need to step back to get more distance between you and your opponent. So ready? Stepping backward. Block! And come back. One more time. Block! And come back. Now with the other leg. Block! And back. And one last time. Block! And back. And there you have the double outer block, commonly known as the choke block. Application for double outer blocks. Again, this can be used offensively if you step into your opponent to close the gap, or defensively if you move back. And depending on the situation. First situation, your opponent is just about to make his move, ready to choke, ready to tackle. You confront the situation and you go forward to close the gap. Double outer block, and you can always grab and follow with the knee strike. Next situation, this time you responded split second too late. So therefore, instead of committing, you will move back. So as you set, you'll see your opponent coming in. You'll step back to create more distance between you and your opponent. And you will use a double outer block to protect yourself. Hiya! Cha! Hiya! And yes, you can always follow with kicking strike. Let's continue on with our double blocks. Double forearm block, using the inner as well as outer forearm. In a front stance, I want you to bring both hands, palm facing down, knuckle to one side shoulder. Stepping in a front stance. And I want your backhand to be coming in as if you're doing inner forearm block, and the top hand comes across and over. Again, almost like the back section, but you're also using that hand to block. So you have double forearm block. Front hand covering the face, chest area, back hand covering the chest, the stomach area. And again, the wrist action. So fold by your shoulder, both palms facing down, knuckle to knuckle. Step into it and block. Both hand goes same time. So if your opponent is close enough, you can use that back hand to block and front hand to strike. Now let's go through this step by step. Fold, palm facing down, step, and block. Again, about eye level. One more time. Fold, get it by your shoulder, step, block. And remember, don't just bring your arms across your body. You want to bring that hand across diagonally, making the action not only a block, but also a striking action. And one last time. Cross, step, and back. 3, and back. And there you have double forearm block, which can also be used as a strike. The application of the double forearm block. Hiya! Hiya! Here I'm using my front hand to block and back hand to cover, just as a block. Now, this can also be used as a strike. He's coming with the opposite hand, I getting closer, and I use my back hand to protect against my body. So as he comes in, I'll step in a little closer, and I'll cover, block with that back hand, and strike with the front hand. Back fist strike. Hiya! Hiya! There you have the blocks and the strikes for the double forearm block. Now we have double wrist block, which can be used with a closed fist or open hand. In both blocks, this will be used a defense against a single or even double multiple attacker, as well as this technique can be used as a strike. First, let's go through the technique step by step. Let me show you the sideways so you can see a little better. Okay, you assume a back stance. The hand that goes on the top goes to the top. And this hand will assume a rising block. The other hand, a back fist action, or even a simple outer block. Cross and block. Now don't turn your wrist out unless you're only blocking. If you keep your hand vertically, you will be able to use that front hand as a back fist strike. So imagine you're using the front hand as a back fist strike. One more time. Cross. Remember, the hand that goes on the top goes on the top. Ready? Block. Cover your head, cover your body. Now let's go through that step by step, both sides. Remember the blocking hand that's going to go up has to cross on the top. Ready? First to the left. Let's get into a back stance. Cross and block. Let's just stay in this stance. One more time. Cross, same wrist on the top, block. And one last time. Cross, block. Stay there. Let's try that with the open hand. Cross, both hands open, block. The top hand does the open knife hand rising block. The front hand does knife hand block, which can also be used as a strike. Cross again and block. And one more time. Cross and block. Now let's go to the other side. Shift your weight to the back leg, 70%, back stance. cross, the blocking hand that's going to go up to the rising block, crosses on the top. Ready? Block. And remember the other hand, the one in the front, assumes a back fist position. Once again, cross and block. Cross and block. Now let's try with the open hand. Cross, block. Same wrist action. So this will be like a double knife hand block. Again, cross, block. And one more time, cross and block. There you have double block with a closed hand and double block with a knife hand. Now let's try to do that fast. We're going to do a couple to the left and a couple to the right. Ready? I want you to look, and we're going to go to the left with the blocking hand that goes on the top, going straight up. Ready? Closed fist first. 1 and back. 2 and back. Now with the open hand. 1 and back. 2 and back. Now let's try the other side. Remember, you got to switch that wrist. Ready? Closed hand first. 1 and back. 2 and back. And with the double knife hand, both hands open. 1 and back. 2 and back. And those are your double blocks. One of the applications for the double blocks are against two attackers, Mr. Eric San Jose coming from one direction and Mr. Youngin Park from the other direction. And you can be used both with a closed or open hand. Either way. Hiya! Hiya! Here you can follow with the strike. Hiya! To finish off. Now the application against a single attacker. As he stepped in the punch, you can use a closed hand or even open hand to block. However, if you move in closer, as he comes in to punch, you step in and you'll block with the back hand. Here, you can strike with the front hand, a back fist strike, or if your hand is open, you'll do a knife hand strike to the neck or the throat area. Hiya! Ta! Application of the double blocks and strikes. Continuing on with a double knife hand block. But this time, let's bring it down. Very similar to a regular knife hand block. However, you're going to be blocking the lower section. So coming down, whether your hand is at the solar plexus or even at the waist level to protect more of the groin area. And you can also perform this with low upside down ridge hand block. Again, same position, just hand is opposite. Again, you're using both of the hands. Let's try that step by step. First, with the palm down. I want you to imagine you're doing knife hand block by using both hands. And you can have your hand at the solar plexus or at the waist level. I'm going to be having my hand at the solar plexus. Ready? Fold, step, back stance, and block. First, palms down. Remember, both hands. Once again, ready? Fold, step, and block. One more time. Fold, step, and block. And this time, let's try the same side with the palm up. Ready? Fold, You notice my fold is slightly different now. My palm is going out, not in. So here I can use my wrist action to do that upside down, low knife hand block. Again, backhand can be at the solar plexus level as well as the waist level. Okay, let's try that. Ready? Fold, step, block. And you notice my hand ended up at the solar plexus. Again, ready? Fold, step, block. And one last time. Fold, step, block. Now let's try the other side. First, with the palm down. Ready? Fold. Here, palm faces your face. Step and block. And remember your backhand, either by your stomach, your solar plexus, or down by your waist. Either one. Once again, ready? Fold, step, block. Again, fold, step, block. And this time, palm facing out. So when it blocks, your palm will be facing up with the wrist action. Ready? Fold, palm faces out, step, and block. Again, fold, step, block. And one last one. Fold, step, block. Now let's try to do this fast. First, with palm down, front palm down. As soon as you fold, block it quickly. 1, and back. Good. 2, and back. 3, and back. This time, palm up. Ready? 1, and back. 2, and back. And one last one. 3, and back. Other side, palm facing down. Ready? Low knife hand block. Chop. Ready? 1, and back. Don't forget your backhand. Ready? 2, and back. 3, big fold, and back. Big fold. This time, palm coming up. Ready? 1, and back. 2, and back. 3, and come back to ready position. And there you have the double knife hand blocks. Applications of the low double knife hand blocks. First, knife hand block, defending against a front kick. Hiya! Hiya! Just a straight down knife hand block to protect. Of course, in a natural situation, you don't have to fold. You don't have to get into a stance. As he kicks, hiya! Just simply quick block, which can be done with open hand. And remember I had talked about earlier, even with a closed hand. In a situation where you will use upside down, reverse knife hand block, remember your hand is open. Hiya! Ta! And you can also grab with that. Applications of low knife hand blocks. Let's continue on with stick blocks. Stick blocks where you use both of your hands. And you will see it done in 2 different ways. First, both palms facing each other. In a back stance, both hands comes from the rear. Top hand faces up, bottom hand faces down. As it comes across, the wrist action. And if you notice, the top hand goes front of my head, not over my head, front of my head. And you want to make sure the plane of the hands are same. You don't want one hand sticking out in the front. Nice plane. Keeping the bottom elbow tucked tight against your body. So from the back, stick block. From the back, stick block. Another application, same principle, except this time the top hand flips over. Again, we're in the same plane and same concept in terms of the actual block. It's done two different ways, depending on the situation. One is more for the actual block, the other more for the block and actual takeaway. Now, very important on the stick block. When you're going front view, make sure your thumb is out at 45-degree angle. As you can see, if my wrists are bent, I'm going to be getting jammed straight against the sticks. Same thing. If my wrist is crooked the other way, my fingers will get jammed. So you want your wrist to be straight, your thumb open at 45-degree angle, ready to grab. Same thing with the top hand. So this way, you do not get your thumb nor your fingers jammed. So let's try it a few times. Coming straight toward me. Remember, fold it back. Bottom hand by your waist level, palm facing down. Top hand around your head level, palm facing up. Step and block. Coming straight at you, not over your head, front of your head. One more time. Fold, step, block. And here I'm using back stance, where my weight is on the back leg. Please don't lean. Keep your body nice and straight. And one last time. Cross, step, and block. Now this time let's try with palm up. Ready? Cross, step, block. One more time. Cross, step, block. And one last time. Cross, step, block. And remember, you are in a back stance. Let's try the other side. Ready? Cross, bottom hand facing down, top hand facing up. Step, block. Both palms facing each other. Remember your thumb to the side. Once again, cross, step, block. One more time. Cross, step, block. Now let's come back with a palm up. Ready? Cross, step, block. And one more time. Cross, step, block. Remember, you're in a back stance. Last one. Cross, step, block. Now you're ready to do it fast. As soon as you cross, as soon as you step, block. All in one motion. Ready stance. Let's start out with palms facing each other. 1 and back. 2 and back. 3 and then back. Palms facing up. Ready? 1 and back. 2 and back. 3 and back. Now the other side, palms facing each other. Ready? 1. Palms facing in and back. 2 and back. Body straight. 3. Back. Let's come back. Palms up. Last 3. Ready? 1 and back. 2 and back. 3 and back. And you have the stick blocks. Application of the stick blocks. First, you're simulating your opponent coming in and attacking with a stick and right top of your head. Instead of waiting for your opponent to come in, because it gives him the leverage, you're going to move in and jam his attack. So this way, he cannot come in and he cannot follow through. Okay, once again, as he comes in, I step in and jam. And you notice the hand position here. Both palms facing in. Here, I can grab, but it's very difficult because of my hand position. This time, I will do it with palm up. Exact same situation. He comes in, I slide in and jam. Now you notice my hand position. It's very comfortable. I can grab. So here, if I catch him off guard and I'm strong enough, I can take the stick away and attack back at him. The applications of the stick blocks. Now you're ready for the palm heel blocks, which can be done one or double. Slow, which is known as the palm heel press block, or fast, which can be used as a striking action. When you're doing the palm heel block, always remember, heel part of your palm is the contact area, whether you're blocking or even striking. Make sure your fingers are tight together, including your thumb, or even slightly bent, as if you're doing the palm heel strike, which heel part of the palm is used for the contact area. Now let's get started with, first, double palm heel press block. Nice and slow, and we'll pick it up to the fast action. Okay, ready, stance. Stepping forward, and the front hand, I want you to bring it down, the same side, and the other hand, up. So you're doing a palm heel block up with the back hand, palm heel block down with the front hand, which I call it front palm heel press block, because the front hand is blocking down. Now here we change, nice and slow, working on breathing as well as dynamic tension. As the hand comes in, bring both palms facing in. As hand goes out, the front hand comes up, bottom hand goes down. Once again, front palm heel block, front hand goes down, and back hand goes up. Heel part of the palm sticking up. Slowly, breathe, and tense. Once again. Okay, now follow along with me. Stepping forward, front hand goes down, back hand goes up. Ready? 1. Now ready? Slowly breathe in. 2. Breathe out. Again. Ready? 1. Remember, palms up, palms down. And slowly block. Front palm heel press block. One more time. Remember, front hand goes down. Ready? 1. And 2. Now let's try the other side. Front palm heel press block, front hand, palm goes down, back hand, palm goes up. Elbow slightly bent. Heel part of your palm sticking out. Ready? 1. And slowly press. And remember, in the center, both palms faces each other. Once again. Ready? 1. And block. Double palm heel press block. And one last one. Ready? 1. And press. And then come back. Now let's do double palm heel block or double palm heel strike, depending on the situation. This is done fast, where both palms facing down, and at the point of block, strike, at the point of impact, both palms come up. Again, palm faces down, palm faces up. This can be used as a block to deflect, or it can be used as a strike to your opponent's rib cage. Palm facing down. Ready? Palm facing up. 1. And you notice the elbow is tucked in nice right by my side. Ready? Fold by your rib cage. Palms facing down. 2. And once again. Ready? Palm facing down. 3. And back. And let's try that one last time. Palm facing down. 1. And back. Now let's go into the single palm heel blocks. Done slowly as well as fast. Let's get into horse stance. 2 times wide as your shoulder. Palm heel press block. Comes from the bottom in a scooping action. Comes up. And you notice again, heel part of my palm sticking up. As you aim, switch the other hand, bring it out, scoops from the bottom, comes by your waist, and comes up. Once again, the other side. Aim, reach out, and nice and slowly press. Palm heel block. Now the other side. Again, ready? Aim, press, block. And one last time. Aim, press, block. And one last time the other side. Aim, press, block. And don't forget to breathe. Now let's go into that palm heel strike. Quickly done. Fast with the wrist action from a back stance. Okay, face me in a ready stance. Let's bring the hand by your rear from the back. Aim with the opposite hand. Let's take into a back stance. And quickly, palm heel strike. Heel part of the palm sticking out. Stepping forward, aim, drop the back hand, step through, and you notice it's going to come right by my rib cage and strike. Let's try that going backwards. Ready? Aim, drop the back hand, stepping through, using the body action, and palm heel strike. One last time. Aim, step, and strike. And let's try a couple going forward fast. Ready? 1, 2, and going backwards. Ready? 1, 2. And there you have palm heel blocks as well as the strikes. The application of the palm heel block in a situation where your opponent is coming in to throw a kick. To defend against a kick, you can use your leg, what we call leg check. As he makes his move, I put my leg out to jam his knee fold. Same concept, except you're using heel part of your arm, almost like a stiff arm. And if you notice, my backhand will be up, protecting my chest as well as my face, because I'm going to be moving in. So as he makes his move, I use the heel part of my palm to jam so I can follow with a strike. Continuing on with the palm heel block, using it as a palm heel strike. As your opponent comes in, you're going to be using palm heel strike. Instead of palm heel block low, all you have to do is extend out front, and it'll be a palm heel strike. So as he makes his move, I use palm heel strike to protect myself. Almost like football player using a stiff arm to keep their opponent away from tackling them. Now the break blocks, which can be done 2 different ways. Break block as a knife hand or break block as a ridge hand. Let's start out first with the knife hand. Both palm crosses front of your chest, palm facing in. It breaks out, face, head level, and palm snaps out. Once again, it crosses palm facing in, and it goes front of your face, front of your body, and then last second, it breaks out, which protects from attacker from the both sides. Okay, let's try that fast. From standing still, either natural or ready stance. Cross, block. Again, cross, block. One more time. Cross, palm facing in, block, palm facing out. Now let's reverse that. Palm facing out. And if you reverse it, you have a break block with a ridge hand strike or knife hand side blocks going both ways by the opposite wrist action. Again, palm facing out, block, and palm facing in. The fingertip should be about head level. Okay, again, palm facing out and block. And one last time, palm facing out and block. Now let's try that fast. Ready? First, we're going to have palm facing in and palm facing out. Ready? Start from cross. Block. Now from here, as soon as you cross, you'll block right away. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now keep the palm out and let's block with palm in. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. So you have palm facing in to block out, palm facing out to block in. And these are your break blocks. Application for the double blocks. First, against a punch. Second, against a kick. Hiya! Cha! And if they come with a kick, hiya! Cha! To defend. The mountain blocks. The reason this is called mountain block, the arm position with your head symbolizes the Chinese character mountain. In Korean, san, meaning mountain. This block can be used as a double block from both sides as well as a back fist strike in both directions. Now this block, you need to use a lower and upper body torque. Now let's try that up and down, facing front. First, aim with front hand, palm facing out. Back hand, palm facing out. As you step through, we'll be going into a horseback riding stance. You notice my lower part of the body is turned, upper part of the body still in the same position. As you block, your body will torque and your wrist will snap. From here, palm faces out. Now you notice I'm back to where I started, exactly opposite direction. My back leg comes in, but my upper part of the body stays sideways. As I torque, the wrist action. Let's try this going backwards. Keep your upper part of the body sideways. Step back, palm facing out. As you turn, palm faces in. So this can be used as a block as well as a strike. One more time going backwards. Step back, keeping your upper part of the body sideways, palm faces out. As you turn, palm faces in. Now let's try to do that with a little bit of stomping action. Meaning when you step, I want you to bring the knee up. And you will notice my lower part of the body goes first, and my upper part of the body torques with the mountain block. Hands up. Ready? Palm out first. Get the knee up and stomp. And torque. One more time. Palm faces out. Get the knee up. Stomp and the torque. Now, going backwards. Palm faces out. Remember, step back. And torque. One more time. Palm faces out. Step back. And torque. So let's try that. One smooth motion. 2 up and 2 back. Ready? Horseback riding stance. Arms up. Remember, palms got to face out. Ready? 1, 2. going backwards. 1, 2. And there you have the mountain blocks. First application of the mountain block. As it kicks, I block, just to make sure I'm blocking against both sides. Hiya! Ta! Blocking the face level against the kick. Now, to follow up, mountain block can be also used as a strike. With the stomping action, as your opponent make their move, you come up with a knee stomp and a back fist strike. Hiya! Ta! Hiya! Now you're ready for double, low, and high block. The top hand blocks down. The bottom hand blocks up, simulating the side block. The top hand, since it's blocking up, should be about wrist level with your top of your head. Don't let it sag. Okay? This block can be commonly done in a back stance, where you block, top hand goes down, and bottom hand goes up. Or this can be done in a horse stance, where top hand goes down, bottom hand goes up. They both serve same purposes. Also, this can be done with open hand, knife hand, low and high block. Same arm action, except when you're blocking, the hand position is open. You notice, all I have to do is close my hand, and I'm back to where I was. This can be done fast, as well as slow. Remember, the top hand goes down, bottom hand goes up in a side blocking position. Now let's try that a few times. Okay? Left side first. Let me show you the side view. And we'll work in a back stance. Cross your left arm on the top, right arm on the bottom. Okay? Left hand is going to go down, and right hand goes up. Okay? Ready? Cross. Block. Cross. Remember, the bottom hand is doing the side block, so you should go slightly outside of that elbow. It goes front of your face. Last second, palm turns in, just like you're doing that side block. Cross. Block. Again, cross. Block. And one more. Cross. Block. Now let's try this with the slow motion with open hand. Are you ready? Cross, palm facing in, backhand, palm facing down. Remember, it's got to go outside of the elbow. Ready? Slowly, block. Outside of the elbow, front of the face. You should be able to see the back of your hand. Last second, snap. One more time. Cross. Yes, you do cross fast. You just block slow. Ready? Block. Remember, accent that wrist action. One last time. Cross and block. Now let's try the other side. Ready? Back stance. The blocking hand that goes on the top blocks down. The blocking hand that goes on the bottom blocks up. Side block. Ready? Cross. Block. Cross. Block. One more. Cross. Block. And with the open hand, slow motion. Cross. Slowly. Block. Bottom hand goes outside of your elbow, front of your face, wrist action. One more. Cross. Block. Bottom hand goes outside of your elbow, front of your face, block. And one last one. Cross. Block. Nice and smooth. Wrist action at the end. Now, all you have to do is modify the top hand. This can be, instead of a side block, a back fist strike. So let's try that. Again, let's assume a back stance, same cross. Low block, back fist strike. Don't snap your wrist. Imagine somebody's behind you. Use it as a strike. Are you ready? Let's do this one fast. As soon as you cross, let's go ahead and block and strike it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now let's try the other side. Remember, top hand blocks down, bottom hand, back fist strike. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And there you have the low and high double block with a closed fist, open hand, and also using the back fist strike as a striking motion. Application of the double low and a high block. Here you will see it as a block and as a strike. Mr. Park will come with a front kick, low block, and I will immobilize my opponent coming from the back with the back fist strike. Hiya! Ta! And ta! I shift my weight to the same technique to immobilize the other opponent. Nine-shaped block. The reason this is called nine-shaped block because the block itself makes a figure number 9. It will end up, if you notice, the arm's going to be coming up into a number 9. Okay, from here I switch over, number 9. The bottom hand is actually doing a simple low block. The top hand is at the top in a guarding position. So are you ready? Let's start out with the 9-shaped block. Put one hand in the front, put the other hand on the top to guard. Again, try to make a nice number 9. Now we're going to switch over. The hand that's in the front at the top is just going to sweep and block down. And the other hand will come up, same time. One more time. Are you ready? This hand comes up, the other hand sweeps down. Okay, using both arms to block. One more time. Ready? 1. You notice this hand sweeps, the other hand guards. Ready? 2. And let's try that a little smoother. Are you ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this can be used in a horseback riding stance, okay? Or front stance. And that's your 9-shaped block. The application of the 9-shaped block, defending against a front kick. As your opponent comes into front kick, again, you move in and you're using your backhand in this case to defend in a circular motion to block. And you have the top hand, just in case you miss, you have the other hand to block and follow up for the extra protection. So here, hiya, ta! Now, let's take one step further. In this situation, we'll use a 9-shaped block to block first and follow with a break. Your arm will be coming down as your opponent comes in, and you block up, and your arm will be coming down in the 9-shaped action and to break. Again, forming the number 9 shape. Hiya! Ta! the elbow arm block. In this situation, you're simulating as if your hands are tied up in your jacket pocket or in your side pocket. Here, you don't have enough time to take your hands out to protect yourself. In this situation, you're going to be using your forearm, your elbow, your whole arm with your body to block. First, to protect yourself. In the forms, you will see it done in a natural stance where both hands come to the side. From here, elbow arm block can be used. Elbow arm block can be used. Or it can be done in a horseback riding stance, just like you see me demonstrate it. So let's try it a few times. Just keep your hands right by your side, or put it in tight inside your belt where you can't take your hands out. Okay, let's start with the ready position. Feet about wide as your shoulder. Stepping in sideways into horseback riding stance and using the body twist with the arm and block. Once again, slide in with the arm, block, and come back to the position where you're not off balance. Let's step back and block. And one more time, step back and block. Now, after the block, of course, now you have time to follow up. A common technique that's used after the elbow arm block is a back fist strike. So once again, from horseback riding stance, step through, block, take your hands out quickly, back fist strike. Now let's try that quickly. Are you ready? Let's start with the feet together. Now let's start with the hands at the side. Stepping in, block, strike. Bring it back. Block, strike. Stepping back, block, strike. And one last time, block, strike. And there you have the elbow arm blocks. The application for the elbow arm block. As you can see, my hands are tied up. I can't use them to defend. So as the one attacker comes in, I will use my elbow arm block, and I can follow up with a strike. Hiya! Cha! Kia! Or against two attackers. Ready? Hiya! Cha! Kia! You have just concluded perfect blocks, and I'm sure you've understood how some of the blocks can be used as a striking action. If you have any questions about the content of this tape, please ask your instructor, or feel free to write to me at the address shown at the end of this tape. I will see you at the next series.